welcome back. I'm here, you're here, we're all here. Tonight we are going to paint a pear. This is a red pear. I don't really know what variety of pear this is. I know they are delicious. But we're going to paint this. I've sketched out a couple of them here. But first of all, let's take a look at this pear and see what we see on it. We see some yellowish areas. I see some green up here. Obviously we see some red, some browns here, some speckling on this. A lot of different colors, not just red on these pears. We're going to take a look at these and see what we can do to paint such a nice red pear. I'm going to get started on mine. I think I'm going to put my source of light up here. Shine it down this way. I'll know I need my shadows on this side. I also know when I do that I am going to need my highlights over here. So I'm going to start with some yellows for my highlights. I'm going to put it around like this. We'll come back to some of this. Looks like a slightly, I got a palette that won't sit still for me tonight. I'm going to put some yellows here, and I know on this one I'm going to need some yellows all along here, all through the body maybe. I don't know, I'm going to just turn this just a little bit so I can use the body of that brush. Really get a lot of paint on there. Right through there. Kind of like that, I think, is how our highlights are going to go tonight. And then I'm going to dab my brush off so I don't get too much paint on there. Then I'm going to go into a little bit of red color, a little darker, maybe not exactly the color that I want to end up with, but something else to put on this opposite side over here. That might be a little bright. We're not going to worry about it. Here we go. We're just going to let it all flow. I am just going to leave a little tiny channel of white. I'm leaning forward so I can concentrate on that. I'm sorry. Hope my head didn't get in the way. And I'm just basically going to fill in our pears here. I'm going to give a little bit of red up here. Alright. And down here we're going to do the same thing. Just, I'm not going to be afraid. I don't know what color I was using over here. Some mix of some of these. I'll grab that too. I'm just going to fill in the rest of this. We're going to see how it goes. Alright, we've got some basic colors in here. It looks like we've got some nice mixing going on. I'm going to actually put that bigger brush away and get out a little smaller brush. This was a 10, this one is a 6. It's a different manufacturer, a little stiffer bristle. And then we're going to look at this and we're going to see what other characteristics we have on this. Well, we do have some darker reds with this palette. I'm not exactly sure how to make a darker red. I'm going to cheat and make it a little purple. I could throw a little green in there that would darken it up. And I'm going to look at this. I'm not going to change too much of the color, but I'm going to look at this and see what kind of shape I have on it. And I'm going to actually use my color to then shape this a little bit. Right? If I want to put a bulge right about here, I'm just not going to paint that. I'm actually going to move this color around and take just a bit of it off. Straighten this edge ever so slightly. There we go. Better. Okay. Like I said, I could make this darker. Darken here a little bit, and it'll look like there's a bump right there when I'm done. Alright, let me try a little bit of that. That's the wrong color green. That's really going to darken it down. Alright, let me try that down here. I know this is my shade side, but I do know I need some red color up here. I dabble some of that in, and I'm going to trust that that yellow is going to shine through that painting and give me all the highlight I need, even though I'm painting over top of some of it. And I'm trying to think about the shape of the pears that I see up here. Oh, let me turn so I can just use the point of the brush on that side. I don't want this to totally dry. They say you're not supposed to put a wet brush back onto paint that's drying. You'll get a bloom, and that's kind of true, but you do have some flexibility to work it around in there. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Now there's one thing I do want to do here. Oops, I'm going to put a little bit of color right around here. There's one thing I want to do, which is a fun thing to do. If you're painting, it will add a lot of life to your painting, but you got to be brave when you do it. You ready? I'm going to put a little bit of splatter on here. In fact, I'm even going to put a little bit of a different color of splatter on here. That's going to do a couple of different things for us. It's going to give a lot of texture to this paint that was there that was wet, and it's going to add life to the rest of this. Okay, I'm going to, whoa, put a little green on here. I'm going to give a little green splatter. Oh, wow. That thing jumped right out of my hand. There are a number of different ways you can do splatter painting. This is one. Alright. And then I mixed up this green, not just to splatter like that, but I want to tone it down just a little bit. Given that red and green are opposite colors, green on a painting will make the red pop. Okay, I'm just going to come on the outside here, and I'm going to put a little green. Yes, I put it next to the yellow. It won't make your yellow pop quite as much, but the fact that it's here will still make it jump. And I'm going to put some extra water on here. I want that to really flow out there as best it can. Like I said, we're just kind of having fun with this one. I'm going to do the same on the other side over here too. Right over here. There's no real rhyme or reason why I would put it here as opposed to over there or somewhere else. I just want to get it on the painting. Something like that. We're going to let this water spread it out just wherever it wants to go. A little bit of water on there and just draw that color out all around the outsides. And I'm damping a little bit on the outside. I can just see where it starts to puddle. And for this technique, I don't really want it to puddle. I want it to just taper till there's nothing at the end there. And I'm going to put a bluer green right down here somewhere, like this. I still want it to be green. Maybe I'll punch that up with a little yellow here. Maybe I got a little too dark. Right there. And it's going to give the impression that we've got something around the painting, around our subject, in this case our plum. But it's going to give so much energy and so much pizzazz to this painting, you won't even believe it. Okay, so already we can look at this and you can say, wow, look at that, really did pop off the page. Actually, I kind of like this. I'm gonna switch to an even smaller brush. I'm really liking this painting all of a sudden. Since I put that on, I think it looks 1,000 times better. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to turn this again. I'm just going, I want this really thick on here. This is almost like a liner. I can't quite get it thick enough to draw a line on there. Maybe if I put just a touch of blue in it, it will darken it just enough for me. That looks pretty good actually. Look at that color. That's nice. I just want a little touch of blue down here. That's good. Look at that. I want a little bit up here. What I'm trying to do is just set off that stem ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. I think I got too much right there. If I can pull that up just a little bit. And if you're really brave, you'll go back over this one more time. You'll put some field color back through here, dabble it on. You might even do a little extra splatter on there, and you'll end up with an unbelievable painting. You'll be able to hang it in your house. All your friends will ask who the artist is. This one, though, I'm going to sign my name and call it done. Thanks for watching.